Yo, what's good, guys? It's Austin here, or Luna. Today's story, definitely an interesting one. I hope you enjoy it. Leave a like on the video if you do, and let's get into it. So, today's story time all takes place 2 years ago. Yeah, I had just moved, actually. I'm sure you guys know by now if you've been watching this channel for a while. I move quite a bit. Not even like to different cities or anything. I just tend to like jump houses a lot and apartments, and people ask me why I do that, but the reasons are, one, I like change, and two, I'm a YouTuber, so sometimes weirdos will try and find out where I live, and if you stay on the move, it's hard to find you for those weirdos. But anyway, back to the story. I had just moved into my new place. Everything was going pretty good, pretty normal, not a lot going on other than that. That was very much like exciting. But there was one thing in specific that was happening in my life at the time that was pretty interesting. So I had just started dating a new girl. I had been dating this girl for about 3 weeks. Very, very new relationship. Things were going really well. Like, for being only 3 weeks in, we were getting pretty close, and things were just like feeling very natural and good for an early relationship. And I thought, like, okay, like, no red flags. This is good, right? Well, on the day of me moving houses, okay, my girlfriend came over to help me. I insisted she didn't. I didn't need her help, but she just wanted to. So that was really nice of her. So yeah, she came over while the movers were at my house, moving my stuff from one house to another, and she was helping me move boxes and stuff myself. And yeah, she was being really helpful. I really appreciated her, and I kept saying, like, thank you. She was like, no problem. Like, of course, it's the least I can do. And then after the move, okay, it took about 4 or 5 hours in total to move all the things to the new place. It was just me and her left. All the movers left. It was me and her. We were just unpacking stuff. And I look over at her and I was like, hey, like, you helped me all day. Why don't you go, like, chill out for a bit, like, relax? And she was like, are you sure? And I was like, yeah, like, I'm good. I'm just going to unpack some stuff, and then I'll probably come to bed. I'm pretty tired. And she was like, all right, well, I'm going to take a shower, and then I'll meet you in the bedroom. And I'm like, okay, sounds good. So she goes upstairs, and she leaves her phone on the kitchen table and just goes to take a shower. Not sure if she left the phone on the kitchen table on purpose or if she just left it on accident. Either way, I didn't think much of it, and I just kept unpacking boxes. Now, the boxes that I was unpacking were for the kitchen. So I was right next to the kitchen table this whole time, just unpacking stuff, putting stuff into cabinets, putting stuff into drawers, stuff like that. And my girlfriend's phone keeps going off. After she went upstairs to take a shower, I kept hearing her phone vibrate. And I was trying my best to not be nosy. I didn't want to be that dude that's like looking over at her phone, seeing who's texting her or whatever. But this fucking thing kept going off. I'm not kidding when I say she was probably getting like 5 texts every fucking like minute or two. It was insane. So it gets to a point where I can't help it anymore. I have to see what her phone is doing, because like I thought that she left like maybe an alarm on or something, or like maybe she was getting spammed by somebody and it was an emergency. So I looked over at her phone, like I tapped the screen, it turns on, and I see that she has 30 new messages from one guy. Yeah, all of those notifications, everything I was hearing was just text messages from one dude. And the name in her contacts of this guy, I shit you not, was Customer One. Yeah, Customer One. I have no idea what that means, right? Like, I'm looking at it like, who the hell is Customer One? Like, she worked at a really normal job. She worked at a furniture store. So I'm like, okay, did she, like, take one of her, like, customers' numbers down? Well, anyway, after I see that she's getting all these text messages from this guy named Customer One, I can see the most recent text message. It's showing it on the screen above all the other ones. And it's just a bunch of heart emojis. So I'm thinking, okay, you know what? Maybe it's not a guy. Maybe it's a girl. Like, how can I be so sure it's a guy? And I'm not going to lie, my curiosity got the best of me. And I'm kind of glad that it did. I tapped the message to expand it and see what else he's been sending, and her phone just straight up unlocked. I didn't know she didn't have a passcode on it, but she didn't. So the phone just straight up unlocked and showed all of the messages from this guy in the last, like, hour. And it confirmed my suspicion. It was a guy, because these text messages were something else, man. I'll just read you a few from my memory. One of them said, I love you so much, my beautiful wife. That was crazy. I saw another one that said, you're so sexy. That was crazy. And then the most recent one, which was all the heart emojis. Now, there was a bunch of other ones begging for my girlfriend to reply to him. That's why he kept texting. He kept saying, like, why are you ignoring me? So, anyway, I see all this, and I immediately think, like, okay, what the fuck is going on? Like, who is Customer One? Why does she have this guy on her phone? Why does she have his number saved? And why is he being a stalker? Like, I just really didn't know what to think. So I went upstairs. I went into the bedroom. My girlfriend was just getting out of the shower at this point. I handed her the phone, her phone, and I was like, hey, don't mean to be nosy, but you kept getting text messages. You left your phone downstairs. It's some guy named Customer One. No idea who that is. And her face goes from like a nice, kind smile to just like pure embarrassment. And I was like, is there something you want to tell me? And she was like, yeah, sit down. And I was like, oh, sit down. Okay, this is going to be one of those conversations. And she's like, no, it's not what you think. I want you to know the truth. So she sits me down, right? And I'm just curious at this point. Like, I don't know what I'm about to be told. At first, I thought I was getting cheated on. Or like second, I thought she had like a sugar daddy or some shit. But she goes on to tell me that she has an OF. And if you don't know what OF means, it rhymes with Phonely fans. So yeah, you can put 2 and 2 together. She tells me that she has this OF account, right? And she's been doing it for like 2 months. And she makes a good amount of money on there. But she was just too embarrassed to tell me because it was so early in our relationship that maybe I would walk away if I knew the truth about how she made most of her money. And I look at her and I was like, genuinely, I don't care if you make money like taking selfies of yourself that are kind of provocative. But like if you're DMing these people your phone number and you're creating like relationships with them for money, I have a problem with that. And it kind of looks like you're doing that. And she just was fully honest. She was like, yeah, honestly, Austin, like, I'm just going to be honest. I do that. That's how I make a lot of money. Like, I promise you, I don't mean a word I say to these guys. Like, it's all an act because I make money off it. But if that's not okay with you, like, we don't have to continue this. And I was like, can I see some of these messages? And she was like, sure. So she shows me her contact list, right? She has like 3 or 4 of these dudes in her contacts, and she's showing me the text messages. And they were not fun to read. Even though I think she was telling the truth when she said she probably didn't mean a word she said to these people and she just wanted their money. Because they were paying her a lot, trust me. She told me it was like $200 a month they were paying to get her number. So like the money was there. It just still sucked. And I didn't like the idea of her going behind my back and, you know, talking to other people. So I broke it off right there. I broke up with her. I told her I'm sorry. Like I need to do that. And she completely understood. It was actually incredibly calm. Like, I thought there would be kind of a fight or an argument, you know, like verbally, but she was surprisingly chill about it. She even offered to stop doing that altogether to continue our relationship. But being completely honest, the fact that she hid it from me for almost an entire month was a big red flag. And if someone's willing to hide something from you for that long, they might hide something else. So I just couldn't get past that thought. And she could have been completely genuine. But if I don't trust who I'm in a relationship with, it's going to fail anyway. So yeah, we ended up breaking up, and it sucked for a little bit, but luckily we didn't get that far in our relationship. I sometimes wonder what would happen if I never saw her phone, and how long she would have hid that from me. It probably could have been months, and then the breakup would have been 10 times harder, so I'm glad that I found out when I did. But yeah, guys, moral of the story is, if you're in a relationship, whether you're a girl or a boy, be honest with each other. That's very important in a relationship. Otherwise, you know, it's probably not going to work out well if you just lie to each other. And that's really the main moral of the story and the main takeaway. So yeah, be honest with each other. But yeah, guys, that is the story of how I found some stuff on my girlfriend's phone that I didn't want to see, and we broke up. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like on the video. I'd really appreciate it. Feel free to leave your story times in the comments down below, and subscribe if you're new. I'll see you all later. Peace.
Told me I cannot do it, looking at them all losing. Pussy wanna talk now, send another round through 'em. Sick of all these lanes using, focused on what I'm doing.